Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. Things are clearly falling apart in Kenya Kwanza. The center can no longer hold. Earlier today, Alfred Keter was kidnapped by some government agents, and that kidnapping caused a lot of tension in the Kalenjin Rift Valley and more so in his Nandi Hills constituency. We know Keter is a former member of parliament for Nandi Hills. Upon his people realizing that he had been kidnapped, they took to the streets demanding for his release. And we are getting some information that he has so far been released. Let's have a look at what happened in Nandi Hills before we continue. Those who are Nandi Hill residents demanding for the release of their former member of parliament, Alfred Keter. And that proves it to me that Alfred Keter is a movement. He speaks the language of the people, and that's why those Kenyans in Nandi Hills came out very strongly demanding for his release. So William Ruto should go back to the drawing board. Something is seriously wrong. These government agents kidnapping innocent demonstrating Kenyans, they are worsening the situation. They are making William Ruto more unpopular. And just as we did see in our earlier video, Ruto is currently the most hated person in Kenya. These kidnappings are just helping in making William Ruto more and more unpopular. Let's have a look at what Kenyans are saying as a result of what happened. Festus, in 5 years, Kenya will be like Haiti. Wakili Kevin Omondi, Alfred Keter is a movement. Joel Lekodi, Kalenjin need to know Ruto is finishing them. Isaac Asika, they should demonstrate until we get our brother back safe. James Siwareng, we no longer have a country and a working government. Japheth Cheroyot, I can see my neighbor Madam OCS Msikuse. Tom Terry, Moi was worse but very smart. Ahmed Abdi, sympathy seeking. Ken Kennedy, this is the end of Kenya. Kaple Large. And then there is somebody here called Daisy Jepkemoi Kirui. In 5 years, Kenya will be Iraq. Those are some Kenyans commenting on what has been happening. Alfred Keter's arrest and the demonstrations we have seen in his Nandi Hills home constituency. I want us to put all this into perspective for Kenyans to understand what's happening here. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. So Alfred Keter was kidnapped today around Sasita Sasaba, and we are being told that he has now been released. Why that quick? Because we have been seeing others being arrested and their destinations are never known where they're being taken. And they are being released after maybe 1 or 2 days. I strongly believe that the pressure that has come from Nandi Hills and the pressure that has come from Kenyans has forced Ruto's government to release Alfred Keter. And that's exactly what I did say in our earlier video today. I said that if this government continues kidnapping Kenyans and Kenyans are silent, then that trend will continue. The kind of anger Alfred Keter's kidnapping raised in the country, if he had not been released, I'm very sure we could have seen demonstrations across the country. So let me take this opportunity to thank Kenyans who voiced their anger as a result of Alfred Keter's kidnapping. And that's the way to go. Should any Kenyan be kidnapped again, should this government kidnap any Kenyan again, Kenyans across the country, irrespective of where you are, Kenyans should come out to demonstrate, to demand for the resignation of William Ruto. We can't have a government that continues to kidnap innocent Kenyans who are just exercising their democratically given rights in the constitution. No Kenyan should be arrested for demonstrating or for speaking truth to power. And even the courts have pronounced themselves on these kidnappings. If the kidnappings continue, then William Ruto's government is making a serious blunder. In fact, they are becoming criminals by kidnapping Kenyans. So going forward, Kenya should not allow any of them to be kidnapped. All these people being kidnapped, their only mistake is to speak truth to power, to demand accountability from William Ruto's government. Let's all thank Kenyans who voiced their anger today, and that has led to Alfred Keter's release. And also from what happened, William Ruto is very fast losing the Kalenjin vote. Those were people demonstrating in Nandi. Alfred Keter was kidnapped, so you can't turn and say that Alfred Keter was the person who organized those demonstrations in Nandi Hills. And that should also send a very strong message to Ruto that Kenyans are tired. It just needs a spark for a serious revolution. William Ruto going forward, he has already called for dialogue. Let us see his action going in tandem with his calls for dialogue. We can't have a person calling for dialogue while his state agents are kidnapping people. That shows he's not honest, not genuine about the dialogues. He's just taking Kenyans for fools. And I've also been maintaining here, it just needs a spark. And the Finance Bill 2024 was a spark. For the first time in the history of this country, we saw Parliament being occupied, something that none of us expected. Finance Bill was just a spark. Arresting these innocent Kenyans, arresting the likes of Alfred Keter, those can be sparks that can lead to serious problems in this country. Mr. President, we are not your enemies. We are just trying to tell you what your close allies are not telling you because they are benefiting from your government. Kenyans are against the open tribalism in your government. Kenyans are against corruption in your government. Kenyans are against your constant 2027 presidential campaigns. Please, Mr. President, sit down in your office and deliver on the promises you made to Kenyans. Stop your early and premature 2027 presidential campaigns. Those are some of the issues why Kenyans are demonstrating against you. Kenyans are also demonstrating because of your frequent trips abroad, trips that are yielding nothing to us. Kenyans are also demonstrating because you are taking debts left, right, center. Those are the issues you should be looking into. You can't suppress a people who have already given up on your leadership. Mr. President, listen to Kenyans and things will be smooth. But as it is right now, the only option left for you is to dissolve your government. If you can't do that, then just resign. It's not going to be business as usual. As I conclude, it's coming out very clearly that Ruto is hated. Kenyans should now turn this hate on these elected leaders who are helping Ruto in oppressing Kenyans. As Kenyans hate Ruto, they should not forget to hate these MPs supporting Ruto. In fact, they are the biggest problems. Ruto should go, Rigathi should go, any leader supporting Ruto has to go. They have all let Kenyans down. They must go. Rigathi has to go. Ruto has to go. Members of parliament, they must go. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any other person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Our people united can never be defeated. Kenyans were united today, and you are seeing Alfred Keter has been released. That's the way to go. Power belongs to the people. One person called William Ruto cannot dictate to over 50 million Kenyans. Kwani sisi wote ni makondo. One person dictating his unpopular policies on us. We must say no. The Constitution allows us to speak truth to power. If one person is kidnapped, let more and more Kenyans emerge so that they can stop kidnapping our brothers and our sisters. As I talk, Ruto is addressing the media. We'll dissect his remarks in our next analysis. Let's meet in our next video.